Hello, everyone. I'm Clyde Pilkington, and here with dear brother and friend Darson Buckner. And we're here to talk to you about this great, exciting opportunity for encouragement and fellowship and study. And we're having a Bible conference, and we're having it in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Woo-hoo!
And Darson's our host. So thanks. Yeah. So we're excited about this. Tell us a little bit about what why you're hosting and where it's at and a little bit of detail.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation. Yeah, so Knoxville's a great town. It's a great place. There's a lot to do, and I guess the reason that I wanted to host was because I just wanted to serve in some way. Oh. And this is giving me a great opportunity to do that. And the other thing I thought was if we had like everything happening at the hotel, it'd make it easier for people. And so I'm providing all the food. So like breakfast. Well, the breakfast is provided by the hotel. And then lunch and dinner, my dear wife is helping me, and we are going to take care of the lunch and dinner for folks. And so we're excited about that, and hopefully you'll get some very good food out of it. And some so we're excited to do that, and just to kind of love on everybody is a big part of this. So allowing me to have an opportunity to do that, I'm really excited for it and excited to see everybody.
Wow. I'll tell you, I can't even express how much your heart and spirit mean to me. And we started this journey a couple of years ago together. Well, we had prior contact, but
right.
I certainly appreciate that, and I appreciate your spirit of love and grace and your servant's heart, and that's above and beyond, really, that you're gonna be feeding us. Wow, and of course the place we're staying has you've arranged for some discount rates where folks can go. We'll put all that information down below, all the contact information. You'll want to schedule your hotel room there so that we can just like all be together. And let's see, those dates are next. It's just a few months away from the time we're making this video. It's February the 28th through March the 2nd, and in Knoxville, Tennessee. Again, all the details below: the hotel, the link for your room, also a link to contact Steve Martin and let him know you're coming, just so if you contact the hotel directly, we may not know you're coming, and we want to know how many people is going to be in the conference room and how many people you're going to feed.
How many people I've got to feed? You know, my wife asked me that this morning. She said, "Do you know how many people we're going to be feeding?" And I said, "I have no idea what we've gotten ourselves into here."
Right.
I said, but now, I trust that God's just going to provide it, and we're just going to do whatever we got to do.
Yeah. Now, and we will say space is limited because you can only put so many people in that conference room.
Sure.
So it's important that people book their room and let Steve Martin know that you're coming, so that we can prepare and make sure that there is room for you. So don't dilly-dally on this thing and delay. Get yourself signed up, and that'll be great, because this is what what our plan is to have. Our plan is to have one national meeting a year, like a 3-day weekend like this. And that way, no matter where you are in the country, we can all get together, those who have the means and the interest, and spend a weekend together and just enjoy one another. This is a lonely walk. Truth is, and it's on purpose, obviously. Well, it's obviously because God's in control of everything, and we can look and see everybody has the same story.
Absolutely.
We're just following this. So this is just a great opportunity, and for fellowship and for study.
And being able to find that encouragement with each other in person is it's a very big deal. And it really has helped me grow and learn and understand. And I feel like, I feel like there are people there that, you can reach out to and talk to while we, while we learn these truths. One of the things that I wanted to say as well, if you're local and if you're local to Knoxville area and you want to, you want to attend this conference, I would still ask you to reach out, even if you're not going to be at the hotel. I'd still ask you to reach out to Steve Martin and, get registered in that, so that we know exactly how many people is going to be in the room. So
it's crucial. We can't have more people than the room will fit, and you need to know how much food to cook.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So regardless if you're making a reservation at the hotel where we're staying, we need to know that you're coming. So we used to have a lot of meetings in the past, and then I was just thinking about that this morning. And then for us, the pandemic came. In fact, in March of 2020, we had a conference planned in the DC area, Washington D.C. area, and the day the meeting was going to start, the venue shut down.
Wow.
And we had some people already there,
right?
And no meeting.
Right.
So for 2 years we didn't have any meetings, and then Steve Martin and LMA, they hosted us here on the eastern side of Pennsylvania, and we had a meeting, and then that same year David White hosted us in Cleveland, and then last year we've started what now looks like it's going to be our standard and pattern of having one like 3-day weekend meeting a year, and we had it in Birmingham, and that's where you and I met.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a great meeting too. Yeah,
it was. And that's one of the highlights of the meeting for me, was to meet you, and that's what happens at these things. We get connected.
And the other thing is, I think one of the great things that happens from this is you have the videos that are being produced that goes on YouTube and it goes on your channel that we all can go back and look at and learn and listen to. I mean, I can't tell you, the times that I've gone back and watched Mike's video, where he spoke about the tornado and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's all. Those are all tools that we have that that you and your team are making available to all of us to be able to go back and look at again and again. And
yes. And I got a lot of response from those videos, and people watch those videos from earlier in this year, because that first year in Birmingham 2 years ago, and then this year we met at the Johnstown Airport, which is where we're talking about now. And a lot of people watch those videos, and when they did, they're like, "Oh, I am so sorry I missed that. I will, make sure you let me know when the next one is. I don't want to miss the next one." Well, don't forget you had that.
Right.
because here's your opportunity.
Exactly.
And so we're going to be in Knoxville now, so that's all exciting. So anyway, we already we sent out the first notice earlier, just a few days ago, and right now we already have folks who are coming from, of course, Tennessee and Virginia and Pennsylvania and Texas, Wisconsin, Indiana, Florida, Colorado, and Ohio. So we already got, so if you're listening, you'll get an idea that if you're lonely and you want fellowship on this journey of truth that you're on and freedom, this will be a great place for that. You got questions, you don't even have to, they don't even have to be, public questions in the meeting, but we're going to have lots of fellowship time, hours of fellowship time. Right. And you can sit across the table from someone eating and talk to them about things that concern you. It's, it's going to be awesome.
And one of the things I'd like to encourage folks to do is, check out the area and check out some of the things that you can do. Now, I realize it's in, the end of February, 1st of March. It's touch and go with weather, during that time. But still, there's some awesome things that you can do here. Like, the Smoky Mountains National Park is just maybe an hour and 15 minutes away. And that's on the way back. Actually, if you're coming from the east, It's on your way back back east as you're leaving town. You have Sevierville, which is a big, it's Dolly Parton's hometown. And, I know Dollywood probably won't be open during that time. But there's a lot of great things to do in Knoxville and also kind of in the surrounding areas. So I would ask you to take a look and see if you maybe make a little week vacation out of it.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Do some other things around, around the city. So
yeah. And of course, one of the reasons that we're having at the end of February and 1st of March, it's the off season. So things are cheap. The hotel's able to be cheaper.
Exactly.
And less congestion, easier getting in and out of airports and things like that. So yeah, that's great. If you could come up with a little list for us of possible things to do in the area, we could include them, maybe not initially here below, but eventually we could include them below and in our future announcements. That way, if somebody does want to come and spend, 3 or 4 days before or after and like make a big event out of it.
Sure, absolutely. I could certainly do that. And where the hotel's located too, it's really in a, I'd say a really nice area. There's a lot of stuff to do locally. We have a thing called Main Event, where they have bowling and video games and just all that sort of stuff. It's a huge updated parties there and stuff. And so there's a lot of things just within a mile of the hotel that you can actually
that is awesome.
that you could actually do if you wanted to, and as far as food is concerned, if you don't like my cooking, if you don't like my cooking, it's like we call it cholesterol corner. You've got every restaurant you can imagine within a few blocks away. So
I love what you said earlier, that it was an opportunity to love on people, and one of the things I'm looking forward to doing, when I get there, is I'm looking for my big hug with you.
Absolutely.
And all the other folks that we know
Absolutely.
from other meetings, and then the cool things, people hadn't even met yet,
Yeah, absolutely. And
we get
and let's just talk about the people. Let's just talk about the people that show up to this meeting, because a lot of times, I know I am before I go somewhere. Maybe sometimes I suffer a little bit of anxiety. I think we all do, right?
Yeah.
These people that show up to these conferences, the two I've been to, they will do nothing but love on you, embrace you, care for you, help guide you, encourage you. This is the type of people, if you're looking for that type of atmosphere, this is where you won't get judgment. You're not going to get any of these types of negative feelings. It's going to be these people, and I'm not talking one of them, I'm talking everybody there has the same kind of understanding, because we understand about we understand some of these truths of God that He's shared with us. These people will love you. And if you have the opportunity to be there, we would all love to meet you and just share and listen to you. I'd like to hear other people's path on this journey and how they come to be aware of this. So,
and again, there's going to be lots of fellowship time, so that you're going to be able to hear from a lot of people, their journey and how they got there. And the cool thing is, when you hear people's journey, it'll resonate with your own journey, even though there's differences about it. It's still really the same journey.
Absolutely. And the way the meetings are set up, if you want to talk or if you want to say something, you can. If you don't want to, if you just want to listen, nobody's going to call you out, and everybody's just going to encourage you, embrace you, and love on you. So I would encourage anybody that, that may have this interest or that may be traveling on this journey to maybe reach out and talk to somebody, Steve, and maybe get registered for this event. So.
Oh, wonderful. I really appreciate you saying all of that, because I think all of us, or a lot of the people, a lot of you listening right now, have had the experience of going somewhere to a meeting and a conference or something, and there's contention and bickering and fighting over doctrine and who's right and who's wrong, and I had my share of that experience, and it was grieving to me. And I've quit.
It's exhausting.
It is. And I have quit many times in those arenas. I'm not interested in an arena of contention and strife. And you know, if you're listening, you need to understand that it is our passion, it is our goal to facilitate love and harmony and grace and peace and love, to be a helper of your joy. Paul said, we don't, if anybody could lord over people's faith and boss them around, you know, Paul would have seemingly had that right. And he said, I don't want to have dominion over your faith, but I want to be a helper of your joy. We get to be joy helpers.
Exactly.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's something else that I'd just like to mention too is, you know, I realize, you know, March is, you know, just around the corner, right? But there's a lot of things that, you know, people could be doing right now if they wanted to. You know, the website, the Bible Student, you know, website, and the Bible Resources website that you and your team have there. There's a huge amount of information on there, and the books are unbelievable. And they're not just books by you. There's compilations that you've done with different authors and stuff that are just amazing works that kind of help us understand, you know, this path that we're on. Yeah. So I would rate in the video. There's a lot of video. There's videos from so there's a lot of work folks could do right now. They could go online and they could, you know, research some of this stuff, and they could learn some of this, some of these things that are, you know, that's being provided by the website. Yes. So I would drive as many people as I could to, you know, to the website there and to the books and literature that's been put together.
Well, awesome. You know what? We'll put those links down below too, where you can have access to that information. Sure. You know, so what we're talking about is folks coming to a safe place, you know, where there's no judgment and no condemnation, and you can come and be who you are. You don't have to fake, you know. Exactly. And even though we're on this journey of freedom together, you know, God has us, he's been bringing us a little bit a different way. And it's okay that you're not in total agreement with any of the speakers or anybody that shows up, you know, and nobody has the key to all the truth. And so we get to be loving and accepting of each other. And why shouldn't we be? Because, you know, every one of us and everybody, you know, every one of our listeners here and everybody who shows up, God's writing your story, and it's beautiful and it's right. And you're right where you're supposed to be. And we're going to embrace that together.
That's right. That's what's exciting. It
is. And so, you know, a place where we don't have to have any mockery or ridicule or anybody looking down their nose at each other, but a place where we value each other. Right. And God's work, you know. And if you really believe in the sovereignty of God and God's behind everything, then and we're all his creatures, then, you know, we can really embrace each other right where we are.
Absolutely.
So, you know, one of the things that I'll want to mention too, as well, is the speakers will be there.
Yes.
So of course I'll be there and have at least a couple sessions, and but Andre Sneidar will be there. Andre has been he's been my right hand man for 35 years. We wouldn't even have all this work, the BSN and the daily email goodies and all the books and so forth, if it wasn't for Andre.
Now he says that you've been his right hand man. So you know, you guys just work well together. That's all.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? That might actually be the real truth about
it. That's the real truth right there.
I might be helping him.
You're helping Andre. That's exactly right.
I love that. And he's the executive editor of the Bible Students Notebook. And so he's going to have a session where he picks up where he left off in Johnstown, talking about the premillennial kingdom. Mm-hmm. And that's really important that people get a grasp of that. And hopefully his presentation will help people. And if anybody's listening and not familiar, we're not all afraid that the end of the world is here, and that and that all the climatic and catastrophic prophecies that belong to Israel are about to unfold. We have a different hope.
Right.
We're looking forward to our expectation of appearing with Christ. And so, anyway, so Andre will be talking about that. Mark Vogt will be there. Mark and I have known each other as well for 35 years, and he is one of our associate editors in the BSN. He's in charge of the Bible students course curriculum, and he is working steadily and faithfully nearly every day on this curriculum. And so it's our joy to have him.
He's an incredible speaker too. He really is very impactful, and I always enjoy hearing all of them. But I really enjoy hearing Mark.
Yes, and he just gets better and better. His two messages at our last conference were just wonderful. Stephen Hill, my son-in-law, will be there, and he's an author and a wonderful student of the scriptures. And also this year at our Johnstown meeting, he did wonderful talk on the spirit world and the celestials. And so we'll look forward to hearing what else he has to teach. By the way, just a little tidbit here, the last 3 BSNs that'll come out this year will have the written teaching that he gave from the videos. So, and then that'll eventually be in book form. And then of course, Mike Owens, and you just already talked and bragged about,
oh my gosh.
He's going to be with us. He's the author of the fallacy of post-mortem punishment, and solid brother. He has been endlessly, ceaselessly a source of encouragement to me since the time I first met him. He is bullseye on the sovereignty of God, bullseye on the salvation of all, and I
just love hearing him talk. He's one of the greatest storytellers of our time, and he really can walk you through it. And when he does, it makes you feel like you're in the story when he's talking. All of these speakers have incredible attributes that really help the whole our kind of what we're trying to do here. And so but that's
down below,
Mike's he's a fantastic storyteller. I really appreciate him.
And down below, we'll put a link to his book. We'll put a link to his videos.
Sure.
We're going to have a lot of notes down below.
Yes, you are.
But anyway, someone not long ago, they watched a video, one of his videos from Johnstown, and they said, "Oh, I can't wait to come to a meeting and meet him in person." Yeah. And so, well, hey, if that's true, you need to sign up and come.
That's right.
And I'll tell you out, Dean Wilkinson and Chris Carnahan are going to be there. You know them, our listeners watchers here on YouTube know them probably from DC time. Dean and Chris, and they're gonna be there, and they're gonna actually record one of their shows right in the conference room during some of it. So we're going to get to sit and watch them record DC.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah.
And those guys are fabulous. I'm always telling them directly, but people need to know that I consider them the premier regular broadcast on YouTube. I can, because they're every week, and I watch them faithfully because they encourage me, and I smile by the time I'm at the end of their show. Just all their love, their grace. Anyway, so you'll
be hard pressed finding a couple of more guys that are as humble and loving as they are. They're just it just fills my heart up you know, to hear them walk through, you know, whatever they were talking about that day. So
yeah,
and they're, and like you was talking about, they're very on target.
yes, and we're going to get to introduce those who show up to Knoxville to the conference. We're going to introduce them to perhaps a couple new folks, and John and Moneypenny, Marcy, excuse me, Moneypenny, and they currently live in Colorado, and they're going to come, and John has been a teacher for many years, and a part of well-established ministries, and they've had their experience of moving and growing in the truth that got them ostracized and treated disgracefully by people who profess to hold grace, you know, and all for coming to see that God loves and is going to save everyone, you know. And I can't wait. I can't wait to hug the two of them, and I can't wait to hear what John's going to share with us. In fact, John is responsible at starting a little fire with Dean and Chris, and first introducing them to the idea that God's going to save everyone. So
that's incredible.
Yeah. So we got this sweet couple to love on.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and I'm hoping there's 10 plans that Bob Evely, author of At the End of the Ages, going to be joining us from Kentucky, and so I certainly trust that it'll be awesome that they are able to make it and that he's able to share with us, because Bob Evely is just a kind and gracious and wonderful vessel of the truth. And anyway, this is just going to be wonderful. Well,
I've actually wanted to meet him before, because I've read so much of his work, you know, that's in our newsletter, and so what a wonderful, you know, I love reading what he has written. So
yeah, okay, well, we're inviting everybody who can to come. Knoxville, Tennessee. February 28th through March 2nd, and with our host here, Darson Buckner. And hey, thanks for joining us today. And I'm just thankful that I see God's work and love and your progression of truth. Love you, brother.
I love you too. I'm excited.
We'll get to hug soon.
That's right. See you guys.